Quick first step, gets in the lane there, makes things happen. They haven't shot the ball exceptionally well, Memorial, from downtown, so they decided to go inside and paying off.
At the end of the first quarter, they were just 5 of 16 and 3 of 9 from long range. So coming inside a little bit more here in the second quarter has erased the deficit a little bit. They have outscored Claremore by an 8-3 margin.
Nice adjustment by Bobby Allison. When things aren't going your way from downtown, get in the lane, create, and then come back to it.
Well, you start attacking inside, that defense has to shrink a little bit.
Yes,
that
it
leaves
does.
the perimeter open.
It kind of sucks the defense in.
Now it looks like we're going to have a little full court pressure by Tulsa Memorial. But it doesn't appear to be a problem. Levi Chastain brings it up against Walker. Jeffrey Oxford, number 10, 54 points in the quarterfinals and the semifinals.
Yes.
They're going to call the charge. Shamar Walker thought they were going to get him for a block, but clearly a charge on Levi Chastain. You saw him put the shoulder right into Walker's chest. And again, you know, fans might get confused. Walker was moving, but he had established his defensive position in front of the defender, and by lowering the shoulder to create the space, that drew the foul. You do not have to be stationary to draw a charge.
No.
Caleb Nero double teamed on the outside. The floater is good. Nero with 54 points in the quarters and the semis.
And this is the closest that Memorial's been in quite a while.
It's a 1-point game now with 4:40 left here in the first half. 5A title at stake. Chastain will stop and pop. Won't go. Rebound hung on the rim for a minute, and finally Kobe Rose comes away with it. Got through the traffic and will now settle things down. Nero to the baseline, and yes, in the lead for Tulsa Memorial.
Oh, Nero is just so quick on that baseline. My goodness, went around 3 defenders.
And the Memorial fans are on their feet, trying to answer, and doing so is Chastain from 2. And 26-25. We ride the seesaw a little bit. Rose again with the floater. Wow, what a shot that was. Suddenly Nero has come alive here.
He has. Back-to-back baskets for Nero.
Has 8 of his 11 here in the second quarter to spark the comeback for Tulsa Memorial. They were down 8 at the break. Now have the lead. We're on a 14-5 run here in the second quarter.
And they've tightened the defense up on Hartloff, guarding him a lot tighter, being a lot more aggressive with him.
Here's Oxford, dishes it out. 3-ball Nost. His third 3 of the game for Chance Nost.
Yeah, all from the right side of the floor as well.
And back to a 2-point lead for Claremore. Timeout, Tulsa. Nope, timeout Claremore. I thought Bobby Allison called that, but it was Tommy Nolan who got it after the bucket went in.
Yeah, Oxford did a nice job of sucking the defense in.
And you have to respect a guy who scored 20 points and 34 points in the quarterfinals and semifinals respectively. You have to trust him and make somebody else beat you. But Chance Nost was off the bench yesterday in the semifinal win over Carl Albert in overtime for 13 big points, and he's already got 9 here today.
He has. And those 3 shots, nothing but the bottom of the net. Sweet stroke from the right side.
You know, between Nost and Gunnar Hall, those 2 guys can really take the defense out and open things up inside, because you have to respect those guys, as you mentioned.
Yeah, Gunnar started out with a couple of 3-point shots, and now Nost is taking it over, and Hartloff. They've got a lot of weapons on that Claremore team. My goodness. But Nero's coming into his own as well. A nice job of splitting the defense for Memorial.
Well, Hartloff was a nice second weapon to Jeffrey Oxford in the quarters and the semis with 20 and 22 respectively, and already out to a dozen here in today's game. So let's see what Tulsa Memorial can do. Nero had it blocked by Noss. Last touch by Nero to belong to Claremore. Good defense that time by Chance Noss to cut off that baseline attack.
Yeah, he did. Got his arms extended, force that turnover.
Now Gunnar Hall will just jog it across the line. Give it to Chastain, who'll put the offense in motion. They work the perimeter right now. Oxford back out top, Chastain. Oxford will fire a three. He's short. Skying for the rebound, Caleb Nero. Kobe Rose from out top couldn't get it. The foul over the back.
It's going to be on Childs.
Kalen Childs to get his first.
Good block out that time. Man, great textbook block out. Coach would love that. Jeffrey Oxford there, Tom. Got his butt in him, extended his arms, and pushed him back. Great job, fundamentally.
Just how you teach it in the gym. Now we're down to minute 45 here in the first half.
Great job by our camera crew that time of showing that.
Oh, and I don't talk nice about him so early. We got 2 more games to go yet.
True.
Here's Chastain for the free throw line. It's short. Rebound batted around. Who's going to come up with it? Taken here by Keelan Boone. Here's Rose again, loose toward the right corner. The way he has approached this first half, he's got the right first name. Kobe always in attack mode to the basket. Walker's wide open for three. Can't get it to go. However, Boone with a rebound. Had it blocked by Hartloff and tipped out by Hartloff to Chastain. What great defense by the junior Hartloff. Three from the wing, good. Gunnar Hall picks up his third.
They just have so many shooters, so many weapons.
Down to the final 40 seconds. Three off the back iron, no good. But a second chance for Tulsa Memorial. Kobe Rose from the free throw line, the fadeaway, won't get the friendly roll. The putback by Boone, no good. Putback again, no good. Boone is fouled this time by Gunnar Hall.
Great work on the offensive glass by Memorial.
My goodness. Reminiscent of the very first possession they had where they had 5 chances.
Yes.
There's Boone, ripped it off, couldn't get it to go. His brother couldn't get it to go. Finally, this is Keelan Boone. And he'll make the free throw. His brother is a little bigger than a sophomore, Caleb. Two for two for Keelan Boone. Substitutions. Checking back in. It's Kalen Childs. Now we approach 15 seconds. 3-point lead for Claremore. Can they make it more? Oxford stops and pops and hits the 8-footer. Great move by Oxford. At the buzzer, the floater by Caleb Nero hits iron but can't go. And after seeing their 8-point lead evaporate momentarily, Claremore closes out strong here in the second half. to take a 34-29 lead into the locker room. And Harold Kuntz is standing by with head coach Tommy Nolan.
All right, Tommy, first off, hot outside the arc. You know, your offense is executing very well.
Yes, sir. You know, we've got a lot of guys that can step up and hit shots, and we're shooting it right now in the first half pretty well.
Defensively, you've kept your inside game down to a minimum. How do you keep that going in the second half?
Well, you know, the job is spacing us out now, but we've just got to start the guy.
All right, Tommy, back to you guys.
All right, the words of Tommy Nolan, the Claremore Zebras head coach, looking for their first ever state championship, and they lead by 5 over Tulsa Memorial at the half of the 5A championship game for the Mabee Center in Tulsa. Halftime activities will follow this timeout.
Don't miss anything. Download the News 9 app and remember to opt in to push alerts.
I almost caught my house on fire sticking my neck out trying to change a fuse the other day. Metroplex Electric saved the day. They're quick and dependable. That's why I like them.
When you need electrical, call Metroplex Electric.
Options. Everybody loves options, right? If one gas station's prices are too high, you zip down the block. Get a bad meal at a restaurant. Don't go back. But when it comes to banking, most people don't shop around. Why is that? Wouldn't you rather do business with a company that respects your time and money? Let Communication Federal Credit Union prove we deserve your business. It only takes a few minutes to switch. Communication Federal, connecting with you.
Weathering the storm with Metroplex Electric.
This is Ford Truck Month. Time to imagine what you can do in a Ford F-150. Let's crank it on up, till the sun comes up. Let me hear you say,
Sir, nice truck, huh?
Whoa.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks. Now get 0% financing for 72 months on F-150 during Truck Month at your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
5-point lead.
Yeah, Claremore started out very well, shooting threes exceptionally well throughout the whole first half. And then Memorial kind of went inside and did what they do well, but then Claremore at the end kind of pulled away with some expert shooting again here in the second quarter.
Well, the three ball, as you mentioned, has been huge for Claremore. They're 8 of 11. 8 of 11 here in the first half, Neil.
Yeah, they shot better from the three-point line than they did from the free throw line, Tom. Unbelievable.
We won't talk about free throws in the first half. But what do you say we take a look at some of the highlights from this very exciting first half that has seen Claremore go on top. And right away, one of the three balls coming your way from Gunnar Hall. Muscling inside was Hartloff. Hall again from the outside. Right there. He had 3 3-pointers. Hartloff was doing the damage inside.
He was.
There he flipped to Oxford for a miss, but Hartloff was there for the putback. And then Caleb Nero finally found his stroke early in the second quarter. Held to just 1 bucket in the first quarter. He came alive. But the answers, Chance Nost off the bench. He had 3 threes off the bench. Kobe Rose doing a little three-point shooting himself for the Memorial Chargers. And the little guy, Shamar Walker, found a path to the basket. Nice baseline pull-up by Caleb Nero, who leads the Chargers with 11 points in the first half. But back to the outside again. There was Chance Nost. And not to be outdone, Gunnar Hall. Those two guys have 6 of the 8 made three-pointers for Claremore. Claremore leads it at the intermission, 34-29. More halftime activities from the Mabee Center will follow this timeout.
The Oklahoma Ford High School Basketball Championships are sponsored by your Oklahoma Ford dealers.
This is Ford Truck Month. Time to imagine what you can do in the all-new Ford Super Duty. Let's crank it on up, yeah, till the sun comes up, yeah. Let me hear you say truck.
Sir, what do you think?
This is my truck.
Ford Super Duty 2017 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Now on top of all current offers, get $1,000 trade assist cash plus no payments for 90 days on Super Duty at your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
I almost caught my house on fire sticking my neck out trying to change a fuse the other day. Metroplex Electric saved the day. They're quick and dependable. That's why I like them.
When you need electrical, call Metroplex Electric.
Because an open road is always calling your name. Because life is sweet. Because every moment counts. MidFirst Bank will always be true to your money. With convenient services that help you maximize the joys in life. MidFirst Bank, true to your money.
Weathering the storm with Metroplex Electric.
Claremore 34 and Tulsa Memorial 29. Our halftime score of the boys 5A championship game as we continue with the Oklahoma Ford High School Basketball Championships 2017. Interesting first half, as we mentioned, Neil, and we're going to take a look at the stat sheet here in just a moment. I think the stat sheet is going to show us some things that don't necessarily correspond to what we see on the scoreboard when all is said and done. And when the numbers come up here on the screen, we'll point those out for you. See the hot shooting for Claremore, including that 8 of 11 from behind the arc. But look at the rebounding disparity, 20-12, and Memorial has 9 offensive rebounds, but they haven't been able to cash those in for hardly any points at all.
No, there were 2 possessions where they got 4 and 5 looks at the basket and not able to put them down.
Turnovers at a minimum, just 3 for Claremore, 2 for Memorial. And moving the ball around, as you mentioned, Claremore moving that ball and finding those open shooters on the three-point line in space. They have 10 assists on their 13 made baskets. That's an outstanding percentage.
Yes, it is.
On the rebound, we told you about the rebounding edge. 8 of 11 for three-point shooting compared to just 4 of 13. Free throws were awful. 3 of 9 for the two teams combined. 0 for 3 for Claremore and just 3 of 6 for the Tulsa Memorial Chargers to get to this particular point. So as we get ready for the second half, Neil, what do we need to see from Tulsa to get them back in their ball game, to Tulsa Memorial to get them back in the ball game that we saw in the second quarter?
I think they're going to continue to need to get in the lane. Nero did a really good job in that second quarter of getting into the paint and creating some things. They weren't shooting well from the outside, so they went inside. That was effective. But they're going to have to clamp down on the Claremore shooters, and they're going to have to clamp down on a lot of Claremore shooters because they shot exceptionally well in that first half.
All right. We've got Harold is standing by with head coach Bobby Allison. We'll get to him momentarily right after we pause for this timeout. We'll get you back for second half action here at the Mabee Center in Tulsa.
Stay in the know. Download the News 9 mobile app and don't forget to opt in for push alerts.
Because practice pays off. Because it's better to give than to receive. Because there's no place like home. MidFirst Bank will always be true to your money, with innovative services that let you focus on what's most important. MidFirst Bank, true to your money.
From the second your alarm goes off, News 9 This Morning alerts are waiting to get your day started.
By your first cup of coffee, you'll see breaking news.
We brought it to you first on your News 9 app.
Live reports from the top breaking news team. Any story that's happening in Oklahoma City, we'll have it.
When you're ready to get dressed, you'll know what the weather is going to do hour by hour.
So you and your kids will be prepared all day long. And before you hit the door, we'll help you find the fastest route.
Drive happy out there.
No one wakes up your day like News 9 This Morning.
Okay, back here with the coach of Memorial, Bobby Allison. And Coach, they got off to a hot start, Claremore did. How do you try to defend that in the second half?
You just got to make them feel you. Hopefully their legs can, our pressure, because we're picking up full court, hopefully our pressure can make them, kind of shoot some shots short, make them feel you, keep the game within striking distance, and then hopefully we just execute a little better on offense, get to the basket. My best two players, Kobe Rose and Caleb Nero, have not shot a free throw yet, and they got to keep attacking the basket, and hopefully they can get to the free throw line. And then the other thing, just make sure you get a hand up. If they hit hard shots like this, then you shake their hand at the end of the game, but we're just going to continue to do what we do.
With the adversity this team has faced in state championship games, what did you talk to them in the locker room to try to keep them positive?
Those last two games happened because of the first two. The first two games happened for this game. Like, they got us ready for this. Now we just got to go handle the moment.
All right, Coach, appreciate your time. All right, and I think we're going to toss it back to Tom, and we'll take care of it, and it should be an exciting second half.
Looking forward to it, Harold, absolutely. Interesting words from Bobby Allison. Nice of him to come over and talk to Harold before he gets his team out on the floor for this third quarter. 16 minutes is all that's in the way for one of these teams to walk home with the crown. What'd you think of his assessment of what they need to do?
Oh, I think it's exactly right. If they make the shots and you're up in their face, hey, give it to them, give them their props. Because if they're going to continue to shoot that well, there's not much you can do about it. But they've got to get to the line. Nero's got to get in the paint, continue to create things like that, and they've got to shoot a little bit better here in the second half.
So the only free throws for them in the first half, you had a couple from Keelan Boone on a second chance opportunity. Isaiah Thomas had a second chance opportunity. He missed a pair. And Shamar Walker went 1 for 2 from the stripe. Only 6 free throws for Tulsa Memorial. So based on what he told us, he wants that free throw figure in the second half to be in double figures.
Yes, he does. That, you get the free throws in double figures, more than likely you're going to get the other team with some foul situations.
So Claremore with the 5-point lead will inbound at midcourt to start the second half. Claremore in the red, Tulsa Memorial in the white. Memorial's been here before, winning the title in 13 and 14, and a bad pass eludes the grasp of Leighton Hartloff, and a turnover will bring it to Memorial. They lost the title game last year to Carl Albert. Lost in the semifinals the year before. So they've knocked on the door repeatedly.
Claremore's in new territory.
Isaiah Thomas can't get it to go, got his own rebound, had the ball stripped out of his hand, still fights for it. What a fight by Isaiah Thomas to keep that ball, not get it travel, find a teammate. It's Nero in the lane.
And not get the ball tied up. Got it kicked out.
The left-handed runner is good by Kobe Rose, and one.
Memorial looks a lot more aggressive here to start off this second half. Definitely trying to look inside and get the ball in the paint, Tom. Get to that free throw line, as Coach mentioned.
Three-point opportunity for Kobe Rose. He has 13 now, as Gunnar Hall got charged with his second foul. Minute gone by in the third quarter. The lead down to 2. Stop and pop will not go